Tens of thousands of football fans came to Highbury. Electrifying.
7:30 p.m. unless Rohan's late, every Thursday evening on YouTube and available ad-free on YouTube memberships and Patreon.
It would help if you actually added us to the stage. Well, you have now. I did it.
Oh, was it? How far was I through? Did I do the intro?
I think like 5 seconds. You were cut off.
Oh,
that's poor.
It's not a good. It's not a good season.
I was thinking, are you doing something deliberate here, or
like a bit? No, I just didn't add us to the stage, guys. I don't understand technology.
Let's take us out. Let's start again. No.
Tell you what, there is also we have show comments on stage beta. Oh,
what does that mean? Oh, it's got a little chat overlay. Lets you display live comments directly on your stream.
Do we like that, people? Do we not? Let us know.
Oh, it's a bit technical.
Also, I mean, is it going to be that side? Because it's only going to be over you, and I feel bad covering you. Maybe if we swapped us around. That just looks weird.
Oh, no, it looks weird.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
Always done it this way.
That way. Welcome back to TCP Live, everybody. How are you, people? I hope you're doing very, very well. We are here again on Thursday evening, as we always are. Apologies about the intro. I just didn't have us on screen for some reason. We're here to talk Rodrigo. We're here to talk Trossard. We're here to talk the Europa League. We're here to give out, most importantly, the TCP Live end of season awards.
Shout out Dinny in the Discord who came up with the idea.
Is that his idea?
Yeah.
Lovely stuff. Who was first in the chat this evening? Matt Tomo says, checking in from Chicago. Hey, Matt. Hey, Chicago. Vlad, as always in the chat. Good evening, guys. The punctuality award goes to Rohan G. Van says Forder. Ivan Smith, it's time to go. Hurry up, Rohan, says Marley Brown. Do you know what? We're going to start this evening. We're going to start with thumbnail check. We're going to start because normally we do it a little bit later. Going to mix it up. This evening. I'm going to start with thumbnail check. And Forder has cooked. Here we are. Thumbnail. Here it is. I will say you on Saliba. The hair.
For God's sake.
The hair looks good. End of season awards. We've got a TCP. Look at the detail on this. He's written TCP Live in there.
Yeah, that's class. It's actually class.
That is very, very good. Mears Declan Rice, Moneypenny, 41.
Do you know what? At first, I thought it was Merino. If you zoom out, it does give a little bit Merino.
It could be Merino. People have said I look like Merino before. People have said I look like Merino before.
Yeah, I think if you change the hair.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah, I see that. Yes.
Yeah. I win TCP Woke Warrior of the Year, and you win TCP Man of the Year. Why do you get Man of the Year and I get Woke Warrior of the Year? It's not fair. TCP Cup. There it is, mate. Honestly, that's a 9 for me. That is a top thumbnail. Oh, we haven't found the hidden Rohan. What are you giving it?
We need to find that first, don't we? Oh God, probably very loud there.
Where is the? I mean, there's an elephant up here. Why is there an elephant up here?
Elephant.
I'll be real for that. Can anyone see the hidden Rohan?
Let me get my glasses on, actually.
Anyway, we also get complaints sometimes that we don't like basically describe what's happening on screen for people on audio. And I am sorry, but this is all the more reason to go on YouTube and have a look at our faces. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I can't find the hidden Rohan. Can anyone? The elephant in the room.
Okay.
I'm not sure I get it. Still not sure I get it.
Maybe like certain awards are a bit controversial and.
Oh, is it the trophy and then the Europa? Okay. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
I'm in the cup reflection apparently.
You're in the cup reflection.
At the top, is that it?
I can't see him. I can't see it. 40, you're too good at this now. Speaking, what are you giving that first and foremost?
I'm giving it a 9.
Yeah, it's a very good thumbnail. Very good thumbnail. I think
Right.
it was also done in a fairly short space of time as well, which is a credit to him. Here we go. Rohan, let's talk about it. Last night, Tottenham won a trophy, the Europa League trophy to be exact. How are you feeling about it?
Could not care less. Genuinely. And I got certain responses. Oh, you're not an Arsenal fan then? How can you not care? Firstly, you aren't policing me as an Arsenal fan. How dare you? How dare you? I don't know. Listen, I just can't. I can't let another club winning a competition that we weren't in influence how I feel about my club. So, therefore, I'm not bothered about it. I genuinely am not bothered about it. It's not going to do anything for Tottenham. Great, fair enough. And I tell you what, Ange deserves a lot of credit here because he's absolutely cooked with that line. Absolutely cooked, right? But it has no relevance to me. I tell you what, actually, let me not lie. If I was living in London, I think it would have rattled me a bit more when the parade is on. That it would rattle me a bit then because you're around it. Like when Leicester won the league, that rattled me so much. Just seeing Leicester fans walk past my house, just like going to, it rattled me. Whereas I'm not really there now to see that. I won't be there in London when they have the parade and stuff. So I'm not going to be witnessing it live in the flesh. So it's not going to bother me. And yeah, mate, this is 16th and 17th. The game was absolutely pants as well. Like so bad. It was
really
one of
bad.
the worst games I've watched all season. It's like Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and Dumber playing. Like, yeah. I don't care. I just do not care. Like,
I suppose it comes back to my feelings around Spurs just in general. Like, obviously, I don't like Spurs because they're Spurs.
yeah.
But I don't, as a team, I've never particularly seen them as our rival. Like, Chelsea are our rivals. United have been our rivals. Liverpool are our rivals. City are our rivals. If you're not consistently, year after year, going after the same things as us and beating us and those games mattering outside of just the local context, I can't get too invested in the rivalry personally because it's not like I get the local context. And obviously, I think there'll be some people who are more local to the club and
Yeah,
stuff
it is a local thing, Alex.
who really
It
feel
100%
that.
is a local thing.
Just personally, I just don't care about Spurs that much. They're 16th.
Yeah.
Sorry, the prize for winning the. And this isn't like look. Congratulations for winning a trophy. Fair play, because that's 17 years. Congratulations to Ange, as you say, because that is a cult. That goes genuinely top 5 quotes. That is so cold. But you get more money for being in the semi-final of the Champions League. The prize for winning the Europa League is being in the Champions League. It was the first season when no one dropped down. So all it comes back to, mate, is basically how much you value winning trophies. And if you and this is the way to judge it, in my opinion. Would you, as an Arsenal fan, swap with Spurs right now? No, you wouldn't.
Absolutely.
So, okay, yeah, it's a bit annoying that they win a trophy, but to be honest, I'm not that bothered. I really am not that bothered. Tell you who is cooked though. United.
It's crazy.
I was thinking about this today, right?
Yeah.
So my dad was a United fan, and like I have a bit of a soft spot for them. I'm quite not scared, and it's obviously like there's a part of me that finds it really funny, but it's kind of gone past it being funny to a point. Like I think I said this about a year ago, and I got cooked for it, but it really is now. They're so bad that it's like it's coming to a point where it's like it's not like that enjoyable. They really are so bad.
It's absolutely enjoyable. I love it.
I knew you disagree with it.
Now, going back to the Spurs thing, right? It 100% is a local thing, and I totally get it. In that context. But like for me, like I do see Spurs as a rival. I wanted Man United to win the game yesterday. I did want that. That was my hope. But again, it was like if they don't win, who cares? So be it. Man United, Man United's fan base are insufferable. When they were good, they were insufferable. They were worse than Arsenal fans. I'll guarantee you that they were worse. The reason why it's not spoken about now, because post Fergie, they haven't been relevant. They just haven't.
Yeah, I suppose it's because I have a soft spot for United because of my connection. But like, I look at them and I think they have no particularly good saleable assets. Their commercial revenues are starting to drop. Their stadium's rubbish. I don't like. I think the manager's okay, but I don't think he's adaptable enough or good enough for the top level. Their best player's 31. They get no money from the Champions League. Like seriously, I was talking about this. I mean, actually, Mikel talks about it in a recent press conference. The Big Six. I really think like we might historically look back at some point in like 3, 4, 5 years and be asking the question, when was it that United dropped out of the Big Six? And I think it was probably around now. Like we could be saying that, because I think what's happening now is we're entering a period where there's going to be a couple of title challenges, and hopefully that continues to be us or City, whatever. Then there is just a pack of really, really well run clubs. Sorry if I'm going blurry. My internet's not great. It should be okay because nothing's uploading.
It's fine. It's not. It's a bit blurry, but it's okay.
Okay, sure. It should come back. But yeah, there's a pack of really, really well run clubs. The Crystal Palaces, the Newcastles, the Brightons, the Brentfords. They're the clubs that are going to basically come from about 6th downwards to about 14th, and that's not. That shouldn't be sniffed at. Because these clubs are punching, they're really well run. They're really well, like the contracts that they do are really great. The recruitment they do is really great. Really good process. Academies, like they are really top institutions. So being a top club who have a couple of years being poorly run, you can drop like a stone. And I think that's what United have done. And I don't see a way back.
No,
I really don't.
No, I so it's kind of like, right. If you put your like, like patriarchal views of football and like Spurs being like the, our enemy and stuff, but then looking at it from a different perspective and think, right, I didn't see either of these teams anyway being able to get back to the level of competing in the next couple of years at the very least, irrespective of the result. But if there was one team that you would fear more between Spurs and Man United, it would always be Manchester United. So, and with the amount of debt that they're in, this loss is like a significant nail in the coffin, in my opinion. I don't know how they get out of this. Like the amount, they're going to have a mass exodus of players leaving. Mm-hmm. I don't know who is going to want to come into that team right now. Forget about Manchester United as a name. Arsenal have always been a huge club, but Arsenal before Mikel, we weren't able to attract the top stars because we weren't that attractive proposition for players. We'd always bring in certain players of quality because of where we are and the size of the club, but you're capped. Man United are consistently now, season after season, losing their pull a little bit more every single year. And this is the one where I think they're going to really struggle to bring in players of the quality. And I generally don't know how they're going to come back from this. And it's also kind of like, because Manchester United was so dominant in the Ferguson era, the amount of trophies they won, fans take it for granted. When you keep winning, naturally, if it happens for us, you naturally will start taking it for granted. So, but then now that that's been removed from them for a long time, those fans are still in that mindset. A lot of the fans, I believe, in which they want to win now, they want to win quickly. And with that, doesn't allow time for managers who rebuild, and they end up with this never-ending cycle that leads to disappointment and failure, really. So I think they're in a really bad period. Also because of their history and because of where they were and the entitlement that fans believe in, which we're Manchester United, we should come back. But no, as you've alluded to, a lot of these other teams, who don't have that pull by name, but are starting to have that pull by the type of team that they are and how they're building. And Man United are falling further down the pecking order. And it's a big worry for them. So
yeah, and I can't remember I saw the numbers, but I think their commercial revenue has been dropping since 2016. So this idea, I think people say, but there'll always be a big club. Okay, but there comes a point where if your commercial revenues are dropping and dropping and dropping, you can't afford to, you can't compete PSR wise, and you can't attract anyone, so you can't get any sales. Like it's just a plug hole. So yes, okay, it's Manchester United. Yes, okay, but if you can draw me a straight road back just because they're Man United, how does that happen? That happens through having more money than everyone. That doesn't happen anymore. Having better talent than everyone. That doesn't happen anymore. Having a better pool than everyone. Doesn't happen anymore. So I don't see the easy road back. The only thing you're holding on to is the name Manchester United. And every single season, that's going down the pan.
Exactly. And I love it. And it's the same like with me. For me, it's like Man United, Chelsea, that's another club I absolutely hate. The demise of these clubs for me will always be so enjoyable Whereas Spurs, it is a little bit different. It is a little bit different for me. So, yeah, incoming locals, like killing us. Like, oh, you just don't get it. You're not.
And fair enough. Look, football is individual. Like, ultimately, what I think doesn't make it right. It's just my opinion. Like, it's true to every single person. I've never particularly cared about the Spurs rivalry. Just that I way prefer. I hate Chelsea so much.
Because of what they've been doing throughout your childhood and what they've been winning and stuff. It makes a big difference.
What they represent and everything. I hate them. Anyway, so yeah, whatever. Screw Spurs. We're going to talk about Rodrigo. And I'm going to try and sort out my internet. So while I do that, because I have to just sort out the Wi-Fi for a second, give me your initial thoughts on Rodrigo. I'll be about 1 minute.
Rodrigo. Well, let's assume that this becomes a reality. I think Rodrigo gives Arsenal a lot of the qualities that they don't have. But I think with Rodrigo, if we're talking about him coming in immediately at left wing, you'd have to make a change. And I think it would revolve around the type of fullback that you pair him with, an overlapping type to allow him to come more inside and closer to goal. That is the type of player Rodrigo is. I think you need to get Rodrigo in a position, in a role in which the way that we used him all Smith Rowe in 2020, post-2020 with Kieran Tierney. That sort of dynamic is the best way in which you can platform Rodrigo, in my opinion. Having having that left winger come inside naturally become an option between the lines because he's so comfortable in those areas, and someone on the outside to give you that width. Where that is, I think, the best way in which you use him. But it's interesting because I still need to watch more of him. But I feel like with Rodrigo, he's shown us so much quality at Real Madrid, but he's never been able to play consistently in his best role because he's always had to make way for a star coming in, which we've seen with Vinicius, seeing with Mbappe as well, to reduce even more minutes if Vinicius wasn't available to play on that left wing. So, yeah, that's the way I see it. But it's certainly it's a stellar name, and it's someone in which, when we're talking about bolstering the front line, adding significant quality, X factor, he fits the bill, and it's an opportunity that you got to take. It's kind of like, if Arsenal, if Jamal Musiala came available, you absolutely throw all of your plans away because of something special that has came through. And Rodrigo is a similar type in which if that is available, which it seems like it is, you have to go for it. But I think you have to maximize him. And I think the way in which you do that is by changing it through the left-hand side. Because I actually do really like Rodrigo on the left because I think it allows him to go in and out. But I don't believe he will thrive to the level that we want him to by playing him in the way that we currently use our left winger.
Yeah, we did a scouted on him earlier. Is my internet any better? A touch better?
It's still a little bit blurry.
Okay,
you're coming back.
I'll do a reset in a second. Apologies, guys. I'm not in my usual spot, but I'll do a reset and then hopefully we should be fine. Yeah, we did it. We did a scouted on him earlier. So I'd go check it out if you're a YouTube member or Patreon or whatever it might be. People saying there's some reports he might stay in Madrid, but there's also reports from Pletigol and I think his name's, I can't remember his actual name. What's that guy's name? Florian Plettenberg, I think his name is. That he is supposedly the agent came to us. I think there was some reports earlier on. I think he said yesterday that there was talks happening and that we're continuing to push. He said this afternoon, we're continuing to push. I do believe this is happening. Look, I'll put it like this. Rodrigo is a talent that if he becomes available, you have to push for him.
Yeah, you do.
Like, you have to push for him. Technically, I think one of the big things at Arsenal at the minute, and I'll leave this, I won't go too far on this because I want people to go watch the scouted, but one of the big things at Arsenal for me at the minute is I don't think we have enough people who can do anything they want with a football. Anything they want. And he can, in terms of the creative passing, in terms of the technical quality, in terms of the dribbling, in terms of the feints, all that sort of stuff. He can put football wherever he wants. There's physical limitations to him, I think, which we'll talk about. But honestly, go and watch it and go watch the clips. He's one of the most technically secure players that I've seen with a football in the last 5-10 years. He is unbelievable. And if he's available, what that means is you add a completely different dimension to the team. And it's so exciting. Whether it happens or not, I don't know. But the implications of it are huge. And yeah, it's massive.
He's for me, he fits exactly what I need. In terms of adding more pace across the front line, in terms of adding a player who has that individuality. Like for me, one of the big problems of Arsenal in the attacking third is we play with our food too much. Whereas Rodrigo is someone who's able to get out of his feet quickly and shoot on sight. We don't have enough shooters in this team. Like with Declan Rice, what you saw of that goal from Declan Rice against Newcastle, I've been screaming for us to create more situations for Declan Rice to get into those areas because it's not by luck. If you look at his goal catalogue, it's insane because he's a fantastic ball striker. And again, with someone like Rodrigo, you're starting to add more shooters into the team. You're starting to add more individuality.
Yeah.
We always go back to that Pep comment in terms of the build-up and in terms of taking to the final third. Then it's down on you to be adventurous and to take your moments. And Rodrigo is someone who does that. But I actually think, I don't know about you, but I think for me, Rodrigo, and again, I need to watch more, but I believe on the left-hand side, but with a dynamic fullback on the outside is the best way to unlock him. That is always how I felt with Rodrigo. Because it's very, and that's what I said before, whilst you were going to sort your internet out, where the Kieran Tierney and Emile Smith-Rowe dynamic that we saw towards 2020, post 2020, in which Smith-Rowe nominally starting out wide, but then he's coming inside, some really good games from there. That is what Rodrigo would do so well for Arsenal. But it's interesting because kind of right now at left back, Calafiori could do that role, the wide width holder, but that's not the best way to use Calafiori, in my opinion. So it creates an interesting discussion.
Yeah, again, I don't want to go too far because I want people to scout it because that's where the main discussion is. But this is the sort of talent, and George and I spoke about it. This is the sort of talent where you do buy another player to supplement him. My issue with the whole Martinelli thing is this: as people know, I don't disagree he's not being used in the right way. The question is, do you theoretically could platform everyone? Do we believe that Gabriel Martinelli, once platformed, is the guy to take us to the Premier League? And fundamentally, I don't. So I don't think it's worth signing players around him and putting things over to him and to get that to work. With Rodrigo, you build a team around him. That's the level of talent you have. So for me, that it makes a lot of sense because right now, Arsenal's left winger, our sort of role for that just doesn't work for him. Would you do the super chats while I sort things out? I'll probably be about 2 minutes. I'm going to try and sort things out. Apologies. Rohan will do the super chats. Apologies, guys.
No worries. Nice one. Let's go through to some of your super chats, starting off with Robert, a member for 23 months. Oh, that's class. Really hope you enjoyed the content. Signing Mateta for free in 2026, a backup striker. Now, if you watched the main pod a couple of months ago, where me and Alex and George were talking about players, like a little bit left field players from, I think, 6 all the way towards the bottom of the table. One player you take, I said Mateta. I think Mateta is so slept on. Not necessarily I would want to have him next season, but I think as a player, he would give a lot of teams at the top end of the table serious quality. He's a very good player. He holds the ball up well. I think when we look at Gabriel and Saliba, since they've formed an elite partnership, there's only a few strikers who have actually given them a significant battle. And I'd say Mateta's one of them. Watkins, you could argue likes of Haaland for sure, Tony, but there's not many. But he is certainly one of them, and I actually think he's a really good player. But yeah, 2026 for free, maybe. Ivor Smith, thank you for your super chat. If there's a Max Exodus from United, who are you taking? I'd go for Yoro and Ahmad. Everyone else is either terrible or for me, I would love to look at the Bruno Fernandes situation. I know that might be a bit left field, but I think Bruno Fernandes is a fantastic player. His wages would be very high. I don't know what the fee would be, but in terms of a player who'd come in and give you, again, that Midas touch in terms of that final ball, Bruno Fernandes is very much, again, not comparing them like for like, but in terms of that unstoppable quality of that final ball, the likes of Trent, the likes of Kevin De Bruyne, Bruno Fernandes has that. He has that ball on lock. So I'd actually look at Bruno. But yeah, let's see. Oogie Boogie, thank you for your super chat. Sincerely fuming. Missed a golden chance this season. Rivals win a comp. We've not won and could have under Arteta. So, thanks for the insight, boys. Come on, you Gunners. The women. Yeah, the women are playing on Saturday, I think, 4:00. Although Barcelona are very, very good. But hopefully they're able to bring it home. But yeah, I mean, I do struggle with the whole Europa League and the comparison to previous seasons, because I think personally the Europa League was of much significant quality, better quality when we were competing it versus right now, Spurs and Man United. I don't think you can make the direct comparison. And this is why, for me, I can't get frustrated and annoyed at my football club by looking at someone else and what they've done in the competition that we've not competed in this season. So it makes it very difficult for me to have that perspective. But yeah, I think for me, the biggest frustration for this season is the fact that, you know, we all expected it to be our season. And obviously, oh, you're back.
We're back.
Yeah. Internet's cooking now. I was on the super chat, but basically, you know, like I think this season, you know, it's been very frustrating, very turbulent, and I think it's more frustrating because of the fact that we all expected it to be our season, and we mentioned it many times, like especially with Mikel's post-match interview on the final day of last season against Everton, this expectation that we're going to win the big one, and because that's not become a reality, and also I think we've obviously the other London clubs and other clubs of our interest, like Spurs, obviously, you know, Chelsea in a final. Newcastle winning their first trophy in 50 plus years, whatever it is. Mm-hmm. And we've not managed to get to a final and not do something special in the Premier League and Champions League, which adds to frustration. But I think there's a lot of context which we've spoken about a lot. So yeah. I was
thinking about this today, and we're back. Apologies for the internet issues in the first half. Should be sorted. I am actually at my girlfriend's house, but I've streamed from here before, so I don't know why it's working. Anyway, you don't want to hear about that. I was thinking about this today, and Mikel, again, I always recommend watching the press conferences, always, because like it's a really good insight into certain things if you're listening properly. And I think a lot of time quotes get taken out of context and stuff, but we that's a conversation for another time. He was talking about something. He said, okay, if you look at it this way, if you could say theoretically that Arsenal have failed in Europe forever. You could say, because we've not won the Champions League or the Europa League. I don't think we ever won the Europa League, have we? UEFA Cup? When it was the UEFA Cup, I don't think we did.
Cup Winners' Cup.
The Cup Winners' Cup. Because we haven't won that, or whatever, whichever metric you have. Arsenal have failed in Europe every single year. There has never been any degree of success. If that's how you want to define it, every single Arsenal team under Arsene Wenger failed in Europe. And it's like, fair enough. If that's your metric, if that's the way you want to define football, if that's the way you want to view football, okay, go for it. It's just not the way I view football. Like, I don't view it as two things. One is success and one is failure. Ange has succeeded this season because he got that, and we have failed. I don't view it that way. There's degrees of success. There's types of success. There's context to success. There's projects or whatever. And I think it all comes back to this. Would you, sat there right now, would you swap with Spurs? That's what it comes back to. Right now, would you swap with Spurs? You wouldn't. No, you wouldn't. Would you right now, even potentially, so I'll put this out there, swap with Man City? Would you, considering what's about to happen? In terms of what's about to happen with their financial situation? Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. I don't know. But there's
genuinely,
very
I wouldn't swap for any team in the Premier League. I wouldn't.
Fair enough, but the point being, yeah, I think some people would. But the point being that there's very, very few clubs you'd swap with. And that's what you have to, I think that's what you have to come back to. My definition of success weights far more heavily. There you go. Got there on that. Weights far more heavily seeing my team compete consistently. So whether you, if you just, I don't know, you don't compete for 10 years and you go and win a trophy, I'd rather compete for 10 years and win nothing. Genuinely. I just would rather have that. And that's just my view of football. And I think we spent go back and forth saying this is success, rather than being like, oh, what's my definition of success? And I think a lot of these people who say Arteta hasn't succeeded, if you really push and say, okay, but what's your definition of success? And you go, okay, but is that fair? It begins to fall away because you can't hold a worldview of that is success and that is failure. It's not how it works. It's not how anything works. So
it's the Overton window, isn't it? It's like there's a set of belief and ideas in which there's acceptable and is deemed as, what is success, and I'd say mainstream, and what everyone believes in general is success is trophies, and without trophies it isn't success. But then that, for me, I always go back to it. It's like, and this is where you go back to Manchester United last season, winning the FA Cup, and then there were the arguments there of, Man United had a better season than Arsenal and stuff like that based on that. But then when you think a bit deeper and you look at it from a different perspective, now look at where we are now. They have lost a final. They are in absolute turmoil versus Arsenal, who've had a very frustrating and disappointing season, but again are still on the right path. And a disappointing and frustrating season in the context of finishing second and losing in the semi-final of the Champions League. That is a different perspective. It's a different perspective, a different idea. And that's why, for me, I've never always had this idea of, we need to win. Like, this is where I always go back to, next season seems to be like, it's now or never for Mikel.
Yeah.
If he doesn't win the big one next season, he has to go. I'm sorry, I can't hold that. I can't hold that logic.
Yeah, it has to depend on context. And I think this comment from Joshua is a really good point. People forget the point of football is entertainment. This is bang on. Would you rather? Would I rather my club lose 21 league matches and win a Europa League, or win 25 matches but miss out by 1 point? Honestly, the second.
So think of it like this. Think of it like this, right, Alex? So let's look at Arsenal and Spurs. And it's kind of like it's a really polarizing example. You've got a completely different two teams in terms of the league, right? So we've been annoyed, we've been frustrated. I've not enjoyed the season, but let's look at it from a Spurs perspective, right? 21 games they've lost this season. So effectively, they've been miserable from a footballing point of view throughout the entirety of the season. Now they won a trophy and they're going to enjoy it. Fair play. Do whatever you need to. But how long is that going to last? It's not going to last weeks and weeks and weeks. So let's look at it over the entirety of a footballing calendar year, 10 months. Yeah. So you've been miserable for pretty much more than 9 months. More than 9 months. Yeah. For 2 or 3 weeks of joy, of dopamine. How does that make any sense? I can't have that. I have watched Arsenal win the FA Cup under Wenger the last years. I did not like it. I loved the fact that we won the FA Cup and that was brilliant. But mate, you look back and that's getting beaten everywhere, beaten at the likes of Swansea, Newcastle when they weren't good. Every single game away from home, we'd lose,
It's about defining what's important for you, and that's going to be weighted different ways for everyone, whether it's entertainment or good football or good players or a team you connect with or whatever. For me, trophies are a big part of that, but they're not the only thing. And I really don't believe people truly just care about trophies. What they might do is, I just care about trophies to prove a point, or I just care about trophies to banter my rivals, or I just care about trophies. You do care about trophies, but it's within a context. Yes, it's the point you make. So you're saying you'd rather have 1 night of entertainment than 9 months of entertainment. Is that really fair? Because this is an entertainment. This is an entertainment product. So Bulushan, Alex is in a girl's house talking to her about Mikel Merino's turning radius. Man looks like he's streaming on a Casio calculator. Well, Mikel Merino scored in the only Arsenal match my girlfriend's ever seen. So it was the Arsenal
Chelsea game, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Arsenal Chelsea game. Yeah,
good goal as well.
So he was trying to impress her. Who knows? Thank you, Bulushan, for your super chat. Yeah, look, and again, there will be people who go, "How could you possibly say that? You just want it." It's fine. Then fair enough for you. It's all about trophies. Then fair enough. That's your way of viewing football, but it doesn't make it the right way of viewing football.
Absolutely.
O'Malley, Spurs fans will be stressing over the summer soon because they don't know if he'll keep their manager and how bad they may get smacked up in the Champions League and or Super Cup. O'Malley, I was about to make this point. This is the other point. Okay, they have their night. They enjoy it. It goes in the history books. Fantastic. Is keeping Ange the right move for long-term sustained entertainment, enjoyment, success, good commercial revenues, good health, good players, everything else that comes with a football club? Is keeping Ange the right thing? This might be you could look in the history of Spurs. This might have been the moment they should have cut ties in the same way that the Ten Hag thing. What if last summer United had cut ties with Ten Hag and they went and got, let's say, Nagelsmann, or they went and got, I don't know, who came in last summer. They pushed for a top manager. They got
Yeah,
Inzaghi.
or
They
like-
got Inzaghi from Inter Milan. What if that had happened? And actually, that FA Cup thing pushed them down a certain path. You know what I mean? So that could happen with Spurs.
It's like small moments that happen in which you might not be able to get that opportunity because you've passed it, and now you're in a position in which you're not attracting these managers because of how toxic it is right now. You know,
Yeah.
and it's interesting. It's kind of like with Mars Lewis Skelly, for example. He was able to be the player that he is right now and had the impact worldwide because he seized upon the moment that was presented to him with the injuries that we had. Like, there's nobody who can tell me that Mikel would have played Mars Lewis Skelly to the level that he has this season had we not had the injuries, because he even said it. He said it in a press conference where he said, we didn't envisage Miles or Ethan to play this many minutes. But
Miles, sorry, I know this is a weird way of judging it. Miles isn't even on the website. He's not even in the teams bit on the website. That's where we're at with him.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly.
I mean?
So it's. I'm a firm believer, right? A lot of football is also about luck and about how that luck swings for you in certain moments. And sometimes when it goes your way, it leads to like a path of glory. But then if it doesn't go your way, you've got years and years and years of rebuild and work to get back to where you want to.
And where you want to is consistently challenging and playing good football, and hopefully getting the just rewards for that. But I do believe they're coming. Before we do our end of season awards, we did have a little bit of news from Sammy Mockball in not the Daily Mail anymore, for the BBC, about Leandro Trossard extending his contract. And I have a bit of a rant, Rohan.
Can we not just move on with him?
Please don't ask me trivia questions. Everyone's seen how I deal with trivia under pressure.
Actually, I've got a rant on this. Can I go first?
Go on. You can. Everyone loves a Rohan rant.
This is so frustrating, right? So right. I think me and you both agree, right? One of Martinelli and Trossard has to go if we are to get a winger and a centre forward in.
Not even necessarily. Not they have to. It's just I can't. I find it very, very hard to believe we're going to sign a left winger and keep them both.
Okay, I'm saying the reason why I say this is right is, okay, in an idealistic world, I would love to have everyone so that then injuries cannot hamper Arsenal's season because we've got so many options to choose from, right? But that is not an idealistic way of looking at football. So every time, right? So I'm saying that Martinelli and Trossard, one of them will go for us to bring in a winger and a centre forward. And that makes sense to me because you cannot hoard players. Like, you have to look at it from a player's perspective as well. You keep Trossard and Martinelli, you sign a left winger, you sign a centre forward, you've got Kai Havertz, you've got Bukayo Saka, you've got Ethan Nwaneri, you've got Jesus, who we can't forget about him because he is under contract and he will be back come towards the end of the year. Whether we like it or not, he will be there. That is too many players. And then that's where you have to look at it from a player's perspective of, like, do they see that logical? Does X believe that this makes sense for me and the minutes that I'll be playing this season? Like, it brings this conversation into the equation where, you know, you can't just expect players to be very happy, you know, being in that sort of position. Like, it just doesn't seem realistic to me. And it just becomes too many. So
I broadly agree. And that leads me to believe that my prediction might come true, is that I think we're extending Trossard because he makes, for me, this is been my whole argument on Martinelli. We're in a predicament with Martinelli where he's too good to sit on our bench. I don't want anyone to think that I think Martinelli is a bad player. He's not a bad player. He's a brilliant player and he'd absolutely cook for certain other teams. But for me, right now, we're in a sticky situation with him where basically I don't think he's good enough to go all in on, and I don't think he's bad enough to sit on our bench. He's the only person who makes sense to sell. With us signing on Trossard, I think what this is, we're saying we want Trossard as depth. And by the way, Trossard is massively slept on. I won't have this thing that Trossard is versatile in a number of positions. He's experienced. His goal record and goal involvement record is really good. He's one of the most perfect players, in my opinion, for that impact role off the bench. Trossard is someone who can change games, who can be a threat, who can cause stuff. He's not the best player in the world, but he's probably going to be our 6th or 7th attacker, however it ends up. Trossard should not. I think he's made 55 Arsenal appearances this season. That should not have happened. If we had Jesus, if we had Kai Havertz around, if we'd signed, frankly, a forward last summer, we shouldn't be in that situation with Trossard, but we are. He's not the problem. But he is someone, even despite what you're saying, maybe he won't be happy, but I think he'd understand his role to be like, okay, I am depth, I'm that person, and I can cover multiple positions. But you're not tanking an asset by keeping Trossard around. Right now, what do you get for him? Somewhere between, I don't know, 15 and 20, 25 million, something like that, probably maximum, I'd say, for Trossard. In my opinion, for Martinelli, you could get 60, 70, 80 million pounds for him, move on and get a proper left winger. And that's what I think is happening, basically. However, if we can keep Martinelli and Trossard and sign a left winger, sign me up. I just don't think it can happen.
I don't think that happens because, like, the reason why I say I don't think it happens is because you have to consider from a player's perspective, and there are not enough minutes to share around.
Yeah.
Like, as much as we want depth, I just don't believe players are going to be happy. And people say, "Oh, well, who cares about the players?" Mate, it's not as easy to keep a big squad like comfortable. And I know people will look at Ethan as an interior, which I do as well, but he's going to play minutes on the right wing next season. I can guarantee you that. And listen, with the Trossard Martinelli thing, right? In my personal view, I would rather keep Martinelli because I think Trossard is going to start declining in terms of his performances and his productivity. I just have this feeling that it's not going to be the same impact, And I agree. I think Trossard's massively slept on in terms of the impact that he's had at Arsenal since he's came to the club and the wages that he's on and the transfer fee. That's why I wanted to keep Trossard last season because I felt the squad wasn't in a position to get rid of him.
But what I think you're saying is like that. Obviously, Martinelli would have more impact than Trossard. But the point is, it's about how we handle the summer. If you said money was no object, who you keeping, Trossard or Martinelli? Obviously Martinelli. Every day of the week, he's the better player. But do you hear my argument of the market? Like if you're
I hear that.
Assets, do you know what I mean?
No, I completely hear that. That's what I don't necessarily strongly disagree with your viewpoint there because Martinelli's on significantly higher wages than Trossard. I think he's on 180, 190k reportedly. And if a fee of 70 million plus comes from Martinelli, you have to consider that. Yep. Absolutely have to consider that. But that's where I'm looking from an idealistic point of view of like which player would I rather keep when we're getting rid of one? It would be Trossard because I think Martinelli can have a bigger impact than Trossard. Yep. But if there's a financial situation in which Martinelli attracts big interest and a big fee, you consider that. It would be foolish to not consider that as much as I do like Martinelli. So,
I think for me, it comes back to money, frankly, in the end, how you actually decide this, because no one's arguing that he's a better player. I mean, even on this, for example, on Trossard is, by the way, someone in the chat saying is desperate to ask a trivia question. Ask the trivia question. Just do it. Don't wait for our permission. What was I going to say? Like the increase from £90,000 to £100,000 a week for Trossard, let's say that's okay. Martinelli's probably I don't know what Martinelli's on. Martinelli, I know 190. That he'd want to go to what, 250, something like that. That's it's a £60,000 versus £10,000. Trossard's going to want a little bit more, but again, relatively speaking, I mean, let's put it this way: whatever ends up happening, we cannot find ourselves again in a position where we're doing a Raheem Sterling deal at 1 a.m. on the final day, and Mikel Arteta comes out after the season. I couldn't believe this quote, by the way. I couldn't believe this quote. Mikel Arteta said, "We knew we were very short going into this season. We knew it." And they nearly didn't sign Sterling.
Yeah.
Like, what?
But do you think that's a board thing, though?
Yes.
But this is what I'm saying. I don't think so. So I don't think this is an Edu thing, personally. Like, I see this above Edu.
It's very possible. I think it's probably a number of different things. Edu's going to be the fall guy because he's out the door. That's fine.
But I can't see, right. Okay, let's think about this. Let's think about this from let's keep sane here, yeah? What sporting director would think that Arsenal in that situation didn't need to add in a top forward, like a strong forward? Like nobody, like if the opportunity was there, I'm sure Edu would have looked to have brought someone in. Like, so that's why I think it's something higher up, and I think then January gives us perhaps even more of a stronger feeling.
Yeah,
that it is the board.
I think you're right.
And again, like I actually thought Sterling as a deadline day purchase on loan with the whole financials behind it made sense to me. And I actually looked at Sterling last season. I didn't think he was like that cooked. I thought he could still have an impact. How wrong I was.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
wrong.
but also, bro, like,
yeah.
this is the thing. It's very easy after the fact for everyone to go, "Oh, so obvious." Hang on a minute. On deadline day, everyone went, "Okay, it's not Leao or whoever, but it's not terrible."
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
I think this, and for me, right, we need to stop pussyfooting around here. Yeah, we cannot get into a situation next season where we're talking about the same things, like between both boxes, efficiency in the final third, because that then is not just the luck, that is negligence. That's gross negligence, not addressing something that has been a problem that we've seen before, and then it becomes Groundhog Day. So go and get the forwards. I'm fed. I don't want to. We need other players. I'm very aware of that. We actually need to do a lot of business. Go and get the forwards. That's where the That's the driver.
Yeah. Martinelli would want what salary? Just making stuff up. He's on 180, 190k a week. So I don't understand why 250k a week is not. I don't see why that's a mad take. There was the trivia question was from the Crimp Lord, who said complicated. Since it was renamed to TNT Sports at the beginning of the 23-24 season, Arsenal have lost how many Premier League games that have been played live on TNT Sports?
But it's 23-24. Okay.
Since the beginning of 23-24, live on TNT, how many have we lost?
Let's work together on this, yeah?
Right, well, that night lost.
In the Premier League.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Oh.
Because then we're looking at then we're looking at Champions League games, aren't we?
Yeah, I guess so as well.
Could you clarify if it's Premier League? Just Premier League, or is it all comps?
Yeah, we'll come back to it.
Yeah. I've got to think about that. That's
got to think about it. Right. It's time, Rohan. And I've prepared something. Are you ready for it?
Yes.
Hey, did we talk about? Yeah, we talked about Trossard's new contract. We talked about Rodrigo. Yeah, I would do more on the Rodrigo thing, but there's we've done a whole scout test. Go check it out for the full discussion. We talked about how we don't care about Spurs. So that's exciting. So we are ready for the Cannon Podcast end of season awards. Yes, guys, and welcome to the Cannon Podcast live end of season awards. We have 12 awards to give out with 4 nominees in each. They are Player of the Year, Young Player of the Year, Goal of the Season, Assist of the Season, Moment of the Season, Most Improved, Biggest Regression, Flop of the Season, and then 4 Wild Card Audience categories. And we spent all the budget.
That?
Yeah, we spent all the budget on the opening, so we're using pages. We're using pages for the nominees. I'm just going to write them on here so we can all see them. So we're going to start, Rohan, with Player of the Year, and I would like nominees
of the season.
Player of the Season. Yeah, apologies. Player of the Season. We'll put it in. This is a return to proper TCP live using pages. We're gonna have 4 nominees. And in a second we're gonna get some audience suggestions as well. But let's start with you. Who would you like to see up there as your 4 nominees for Player of the Season?
For me, it would be Rice. No particular order yet. Rice, Timber, Gabriel, and David Raya.
Declan Rice.
Top, yeah.
Jurriën Timber.
Yeah.
Did you say William Saliba?
No. Big Gabby.
Oh, Big Gabby. Gabriel. Michael Heiss. Michael Heiss. I think I'm happy with those 4 nominees. I think
Yeah.
those are my 4 nominees as well. I can't think of anyone. Has anyone been robbed there? Chat.
I think
Anyone
like
been robbed?
honourable mentions are like Saka, Miles, the seasons he had, but I just think the sample and the volume of games these 4 have racked up and the consistency, I'm very happy with that.
Jonathan says not Sterling.
He can go in a different category.
He certainly will be in a different category. Someone's saying Saliba. I'm not sure. Saliba goes in any of those 4.
I think he's had a very underrated season, but again, we're looking at the level of these 4, what they produced. I struggle to put him in. Yeah,
I think so. Okay, and then in terms of the winner of our player of the season, chat, let us know who you think.
Who do you think?
It's tough, you know.
It is. I actually think there's no right or wrong answer here.
For me, it's difficult because, like, sometimes with player of the season, I feel like people do this with like their teams of the season. Mm-hmm. They'll almost put the most improved player in there sometimes, and that is a different thing. Yes. So, for example, something, like Gabriel Magalhaes might be, he'll certainly be probably one of the nominees for most improved. I'm not suggesting he is or isn't the player of the season, but that doesn't automatically make him the player of the season. Basically, I look at it as who is the best performing player at the very highest level. I don't care. You could be playing out of your skin. You might not be better than someone else who on a bad season for them, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. I think each here has a case, right? Because if we look at Declan Rice's form post November has been insane. The level, the performances, the output, the variation in qualities that he's given, phenomenal. Jurrien Timber, what he's done on the back of an ACL whilst playing through injury towards the end of those Champions League games, locking off Kvaratskhelia on the first 20 minutes of the first leg, and for the entirety of the second leg, locked off Vinicius Jr. Absurd. Like, what he's done is crazy. And David Raya, the seasons he's had, he's kind of like squashed a lot of doubts over his shot-stopping capabilities. Like last season, when he won the Golden Glove, it felt like there was some consensus that David Raya won the clean sheet Golden Glove, by not doing anything. When we knew there was more to that in terms of what he was offering on the ball, the calmness, the cross collection, etc. Whereas this season, he's been worked more, especially at the start of the campaign, and also some really big clutch saves against the likes of Newcastle. He's been fantastic. And then Big Gabby, I think, has been ridiculously consistent and his best season at Arsenal. And I think had he have not got that injury, he would have probably done it. I think he probably would have been top for me. But the injury, I think, has just capped it at 4th. So
I put a poll in and I haven't looked yet. Because I am torn. So here's my thing. I think they all have a shout for it. I actually don't think there's a bad answer here. Jurrien Timber, as you say, off the back of an ACL, what he's done, I'm glad Mikel shouted him out. Like, he's also been playing through pain. Apparently, he was playing through pain even when the Vinny Jr. stuff happened. Like when he was locking down Vinny Jr. Like he has been. But again, it's like, are you performing at the best in your position in the world category? Probably yes at points this season, Jurrien Timber. But I just think Declan Rice he had a bit of a slow start, but once he got into gear about October, November time, that's the best midfielder, one of the best midfielders in the world. Like every week.
Best midfielder in the Premier League from that moment.
So like in terms of again, it's not most improved. Who is literally the best player in our team for the whole season? I think I'm going to say Declan Rice.
Yeah, I agree. I'm
going to look at the poll. Poll agrees. Rice, 48% of the vote. Timber, it's pretty. I'm going to end the poll so we don't get any more last minute votes. But the poll went for Rice. It went for, here we go. Rice with 48% of the vote. Timber with 20% of the vote. Gabriel with 20% of the vote. And Raya with 10% of the vote. That doesn't add up to 50. That adds up to 98.
Wait, can you read them out again?
48 plus 20 plus 20 plus 10.
Yeah.
Where's the other 2%?
For Sterling.
It's gone to Sterling. Okay. The TCP Live Player of the Season is Mr. Declan Rice. Congratulations, Declan. He will be buzzing. We'll obviously hear from him later on in the show. Let's move on to...
I love how we're doing this on notes.
I love it. I wasted all the money on that, and you're going to get it again later as well. I wasted all the money on I want to say money, I mean me on Premiere Pro for about 10 minutes earlier. Young Player of the Season. I'm going to aim for 4 nominees. I think there's 2 obvious ones. Ethan Waneri and, of course, our boy Miles Lewis Skelly. Other nominations for you?
Well, if we want to do it the way the Premier League does it with young player, we could put Saliba in
We
there.
could put Arteta in there. Yeah.
We could put Timber in there as well.
Yeah. I'm saying 21 or younger.
Okay, so
at start of season. That's my on-the-fly decision. I think 21 or younger at the start of the season.
So I think we need to get rid of 3 and 4 then.
So Saliba. Yeah, is there anyone else? I mean, I suppose we could put Jack Porter in there. He played
one game against.
He played. Who else played?
And the
Maldini,
goal he conceded though.
Josh Nichols. Who else qualified?
Yeah, Josh Nichols. Josh Nichols got an assist actually in that game.
Josh Nichols. Stick him on.
Yeah.
Does anyone disagree? And be
Butler
honest.
Oyedeji is 23, I think, so he can't be in this.
Yeah, how funny is it that he doesn't qualify for Young Player of the Season?
Tell you what, he nearly got a Premier League goal. That's the strike he had against Ipswich. Nearly. Unlucky.
Yeah. But... Was Calafiori 21 at the start of the season?
22, I think. I think he's 22.
Oh my! Can you see how I've just spelt that? Is that the right way around?
Oh my god! Have you done that? You're just not looking.
Calafiori.
I'm pretty sure he's 22.
He's currently 23, so yeah, it would have been 22 at the start of the season. I'm going to do a poll just to hear from the audience, but I can't imagine anyone disagrees with it being Miles. No.
Yeah, it's Miles. Absolutely.
Does Ethan have even a vague shout?
No, because of what Miles has been doing in a position that is not a position he's played before. I know, obviously, he highlights a lot of similarities in possession in a lot of the games that he does at left back, but out of possession, left back is a different ball game. And what he's been able to show, the wingers that he's locked off, the consistency and the quality of the back post defending. Like, how many goals has he saved us from being alert at the back post? Did it against Man City? Did it against Leicester? You know. Phenomenal. I just
Josh Nichols does have 6% of the vote. Just it's more than
he was cooking in that Bolton game. He was cooking.
Some people have put Nichols ahead of Ethan.
Oh god. No.
But Miles, of course, wins with 86% of the vote. So congratulations to Miles. Does that add up to 100? Let me just try and have a look. Does that add up to 100 YouTube? I think it does actually this time. How exciting. Miles with 86% of the vote. No, it doesn't.
Is there like a missing 2% again?
It's 1% this time.
Okay.
Miles is 86. Nichols was 5. Ethan was 4. Porter was 4. There's still 1% missing. Raheem Sterling's getting it. I'm telling you. Raheem Sterling's now on 3%. We move on from Young Player of the Season to Goal of the Season. Now, we might need to start having the audience chip in with some nominees. For me, I've got a couple in mind.
So how are we doing it, though? Are we doing it in terms of like the moment or just the goal on a team level or goal on an individual level?
Up to you, Rohan. Up to you, mate.
How are you viewing? What are you doing? How are you
I don't know, just favourite goal. I mean, you can define it however you want.
I'm definitely going to put the Rice second free kick.
Okay, yeah, we can't have both of Rice's free kick.
Can't have both. Not allowed to have both.
Let's put Rice's free kick.
Calafiori's against City.
Versus Real Madrid. Calafiori versus City.
I'll tell you what, one of my favourite ones, actually.
Go on.
Is the Saka one against Liverpool.
Saka v Liverpool, that is up there. I'll put them all in for now. Does anyone have... Oh, Christ on a bike. Does anyone have any other shouts rather than
replace them? Yeah.
Ethan's versus City, Rice's free kick, the second one versus Madrid, Calafiori versus City, and Saka versus Liverpool. Any disagreement? Someone saying Gabriel versus Spurs. That's
Do
not
you
a bad
know
shout.
what, right? Now, how much did you say? Like, because that goal, I can remember it right. When we got the corner, I just felt something. Yeah, we're going to score from this. And I stood up, and then it was like the sweetest header as well. Like the contact, how clean
Yeah.
it was.
Can
Yeah,
I say
yeah.
I might remove Ethan's versus City? Not that it wasn't a good goal, but because we'd already won the game. It was like we were. I think we were 4-1 up at that point.
4-1 up. Yeah.
3-1 up.
Yeah.
We're 3-1 up. So I'm going to take Ethan's out, even though it is a nice goal, because that was nice. I think I'm happy with the nominees. Gabriel's bullet header, Rice's free kick against Madrid. Also, these are important games as well, because like a good goal in an important game is nice.
Sterling's against Bolton.
Any disagreements with the 4 nominees? Any heavy disagreements?
That was Miles' first assist as well.
Can't see any. Someone saying Miles versus City was robbed. I buy that. Someone saying Zinchenko versus PSV. Actually, yeah, that's that. In terms of just a goal, that was nice. But again, I think it has to be a good goal in an important game.
Yeah, dead game, weren't it? It's like dead.
Like these are all really good goals in really important games. Okay, let's start the poll. Rohan, talk to me. What are you thinking?
Oh, it's got to be Rice's second free kick because that's like one of the best free kicks I've ever seen. It's on par with Messi's against Liverpool.
Not the first one.
No, but I tell you what, the feeling that first one did give me was active everywhere.
What do you mean?
Everywhere.
What are you trying to suggest?
Everywhere.
Right. I think he's making lewd sexual jokes, people.
No, I'm not.
It's unacceptable. The poll is in the chat. Your 4 options are Gabriel versus Spurs, Rice versus Madrid, the second free kick, Calafiori versus City away, and Saka versus Liverpool at home. I think it. I don't know if they're. I don't know.
What?
It has to be the Rice free kick.
The Marino one against Real Madrid's very underrated
nice too.
because the technique and the celebration, the Selly's cold.
If we weren't allowed to include the Rice free kick, what would you go for?
I'd actually bring in. I'd go for Saka versus Liverpool. Like that goal, I love that goal. Just the way he sat down Robinson. The ball from Ben White is sweet, and then spins Robertson inside, and then slaps
I think
it.
I'd go for Calafiori. Weak foot. And
yeah,
you've got
in
to
terms
remember
of
at that point in the season, it felt like it was going to be us versus City again.
Yeah.
And we'd just gone one down. Weak foot, new player, who also probably got done for the goal as well. That was a really nice. His celebration as well was nice.
Yeah.
I think I'll probably go for Calafiori.
I'll buy that.
But I think, I think we'll go for, and I'm not surprised to see Rice versus Madrid, the second free kick, has won the poll by an absolute landslide with 80% of the vote. Does it add up to 100, YouTube? Let's find out. Well, we haven't given the previous one its little red. Maybe people are a bit annoyed at it.
Palace against Wolves was very underrated as well.
Yeah, that was a nice goal.
Yeah.
Poll ends with 79% for Rice versus Madrid, 14% saying Calafiori versus City, 3% saying Gabriel versus Spurs. Again, that doesn't add up to 100. Saka versus Liverpool, that adds up to 98.
What was Saka's? 2%.
Saka was 2%, you hipster.
Yeah, it's 98. God's sake. The Sterling's creeping up. So that's 5 now, Sterling's one.
That is. Let's go. The next one is assist of the season.
Okay, we're going to need to think about this.
Nominations, please, people.
I definitely have Ben White for Saka. Ben White's for Saka against Liverpool.
Yep.
I actually think Marino's for Saka at the Bernabeu was very good as well. Very nice.
Marino for Saka at the Bernabeu.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, that's a good shout. That's a very good shout. That's really nice. I'm not very good on assists.
Saka for Martinelli against Southampton. Yeah, that was sweet.
Saka for Martinelli against Southampton. When
Back
was that?
post. Coming inside. Half
I'll
space,
tell you what.
cross towards the back post. Yeah.
Tell you what, Martinelli for Saka against Fulham.
Oh yeah.
Like the flick.
Yeah,
That was
good.
lovely. That was lovely. I don't know which one you're referring to about the Southampton one.
It was 2-2, and Saka comes inside, cross towards the far post.
Oh,
back
yes.
post finish.
Okay, I'll put that in for now.
Yeah, we can change it.
Okay, so the 4 currently are Ben White for Saka in the Liverpool game,
I've got one.
Marino for Saka in the Madrid game, Martinelli for Saka in the Fulham game, and Saka for Martinelli in the Southampton game. What are you saying?
Miles to Ethan against PSV.
Oh, that's got a. I'm sorry, that's got a.
The story behind that in the Champions League knockout rounds as well.
Yeah, that's going in as number 4. Those are the 4 nominees. Any disagreement in the chat? For
saw one with Trossard to Havertz against PSG. That's not a bad shot.
That was nice. I don't know if I prefer it to any of those on there.
Because right, let's think of it like this, right? So that's a cross after coming inside towards the back post. The best one was the Martinelli goal against Southampton, I'd say. So I don't think we can have too many of the same type of assist. Yeah.
Marino to Martinelli. Oh, Marino to Martinelli versus Ipswich. That is a great shot.
Yeah, that was a good one. And there's a really good team goal as well.
Oh. So, can I say something controversial? I know the Miles Ethan one has a nice story, but in terms of just the technical quality of the assist, it's just a pass inside. Like that Ben White one is a lovely faded ball over the top. Marino for Saka, that's the work he does, and the reverse pass is really nice. Miles to Ethan is just a pass.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, fair.
I'm gonna go 2 for Marino here.
Cheeky Marino.
Are we? I think people. I'm just looking through the chat. Any disagreement?
No, Declan's for Ethan. The switch.
Saliba to Vinny.
Josh
Miller says Marino is better. Marino Tonelli to Saka versus Brentford at home. What was that?
Brentford at home? No, we didn't. He didn't score.
Josh, sorry, mate. I don't quite understand that. Stick it in the chat. I'll try and unpack that. I think I'm happy with those 4.
Brentford was Rice. Rice scored against. No, Rice didn't score against Brentford.
I think I'm happy with those. That little list, because Saka return goal. Odegaard to Kivior against Palace. Yeah, that was nice, but I think it's because it's from a dead ball situation. Okay, yeah, Josh meant Fulham. Yeah, I think most people are happy. There's a Raya assist people are talking about. I can't remember that one.
There isn't a Raya assist.
What was the Raya assist?
He's not had an assist this season.
Mate, I trust Rohan's memory over, frankly, my own. Declan for Ethan versus Man City. Yeah, it was a nice switch, but I think again because I don't know, it's not something it's nice, but it doesn't get on my list. Sterling to Zinchenko, absolutely not. Right, going in the chat now for the poll. Rohan, talk to me.
I think that Ben White to Saka one is probably.
You're obsessed with it.
Come on, it was a sick goal though. That was like a sick all-round goal.
White to Saka.
Do you know what? Marino for Saka actually might be mine. Yeah.
Marino for Saka against Madrid.
Yeah. I'll change.
I think you've got to take it. I'm just putting the poll in. There's 2 Marinos for Sakas, isn't there? Against Fulham. No, sorry, Martinelli for Saka. Apologies. Marino for Saka. Right, the poll is in there. So the 4 options are White for Saka against Liverpool, Marino for Saka against Madrid, Martinelli for Saka against Fulham, Saka. And the final option is Marino for Martinelli against Ipswich. For me, it's difficult, isn't it? Because I don't know.
There's not like many like amazing assists have there this season. There's not been like.
It wasn't like an Odegaard for Havertz type assist.
Yeah.
Last season against Chelsea. I think for me, I like the Martinelli for Saka one. Just because it had kind of everything to it. It had the Saka story. It had a nice bit of build-up, a lovely flick. And I like an assist that basically gives you everything you need. You don't have to go and, like, for example, the Marino for Saka one against Madrid, he still had to go and chip Courtois. Ben White for Saka, yes, it's an unbelievable ball, but he still had to beat Robertson. Marino for Martinelli, maybe it's the only one that falls in. But I like the Martinelli.
So you're
for
looking
Saka
at ones that like put it on a plate. You're like looking at the
there.
ones
It
here.
is.
Yeah, it's on
for
a plate.
For me, I think Martinelli for Saka against Fulham. Thoughts?
I hear that. For me, I think just in terms of the aesthetics of that Ben White ball, I thought it's like perfect. It's like Trent-esque. So I'd
So you're saying Ben White?
Yeah.
Let's see what the chat says. Chat says Martinelli for Saka against Fulham. 45% of the vote.
Okay. Let's add up the numbers.
Martinelli for Saka, 44. White to Saka, your one, got 24. So that's 68. Marino for Saka against Madrid, 20%. Again, it adds up to 98. And Marino for Martinelli is 10.
Why can't I see the poll?
It's on the YouTube. It's not on StreamYard. It's on YouTube side. Ivan Smith is a new member. Yes, Ivan. Ivan, you've been in the chat for years. You should have been a member before, but thank you so much.
I swear Ivan is a member.
Ivan's a member in our hearts.
Yeah.
Imagine Ivan is actually that guy with the jacket. We just never knew.
Crazy. Yeah.
Crazy.
We
move on. We move on because we are slightly short for time to the moment of the season. For me, just the Madrid game, and let's say, let's split it up because we have to be fair. Madrid at home, Madrid away.
yeah.
We have to be fair.
Yeah, we have to.
Madrid at home, Madrid away. I have to make a decision.
Man City at home definitely is one for me because of what Man City have been like. That was the first time we gave Man City a beating. Like, we have always been the ones receiving the beating. If there's one team to give each other a beating, it's always Man City doing it. That was the first time we did
we had the Haaland Miles moment as well.
Yeah.
The PSV game was fun.
Yeah, PSV definitely.
I'll say those. I mean, that's kind of game of the season
because I think
we have to pick out a moment.
Oh yeah, we're just doing games, aren't we? Now?
Yeah, that is kind of just game. So let's say,
yeah, we've got to change this.
The Rice free kick, Rice's second
free kicks or free, yeah.
Right, well, we've got to pick one moment. So Rice's second free kick. Let's say the Saka goal.
Yeah, because
for the Madrid away.
Yeah.
City at home, should we say Miles' Selly?
For me, it would be
or Miles' goal.
Just Miles' goal. Yeah. Like,
let's say Miles' goal and Selly.
Yeah, Selly.
PSV away.
I don't think I would have a moment.
Yeah, that game.
Then.
A moment there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Fulham return of Saka. People saying.
Yeah, that's a good.
George's PhD defense.
Do you know what? I buy that. The Saka
return. That's nice. I like that. White booting the ball at McGinn to Snob. That was quite funny.
See, the Raya sprint, I can't have that because we lost that game. It was against West Ham, wasn't it?
When I got a girlfriend?
Yeah.
It's up there. We should do a TCP moment of the season. The fact that we've got things like Raya running on our moment of the season tells you.
And we lost that game as well. We lost it.
Tells you how the season's gone. Oh, God. Arsenal, Newcastle, Kai buff body.
Not gonna lie, right? His cameo stunk though, didn't it? Absolutely stunk.
Horrible. Honestly,
though, goal at the Etihad. Yes.
That wouldn't go in over any of those.
Oh, we've got 4. We've got 4. Yeah.
No, we've only got 4. I think those are my 4.
Yeah.
I'll put the poll in the chat. What are you saying?
Rice red card. Definitely that Rice second.
Mine and George's argument about the referees.
That was intense as well.
City home, Miles Goncelli. Right, the poll is now on YouTube in the chat. What are you saying, Ro? What's your pick?
Yeah, definitely Rice's second goal. I thought that was the best, isn't it?
I think it's got to be. Is it? Wait, so it's going to win. It's going to win goal of the season and moment of the season.
Yeah, I mean it's Madrid, isn't
Is
it?
that
It's like
fair?
it's Madrid. Yeah, I think so. It's Madrid. It's Madrid.
I mean, it is the moment of the season.
Yeah, it's Real Madrid.
It's Manchester United.
Me and you have not in terms of investing in Arsenal. We weren't as obviously dedicated when we watched them do it at the Bernabeu back in 2006.
Speak for yourself, mate. Speak for yourself.
Yeah.
My appearance on the overlap got me up there.
How many DMs do you get about that?
Mary Takrasi robbed. Do you know what? Honestly, it's mostly Liverpool fans at this point.
Yeah.
Let's do. Yeah, I think we have to say Rice's second free kick. Let's look at the poll. Yeah, Rice's second free kick wins by a mile with 59% of the vote. Oh, 58% of the vote. 58 plus 35 plus 2 plus 2. What?
58 plus 35.
That's 3 off, I think.
No, that's
No, that's
wait, what 58 plus 35 plus
58
2
plus 2 is 60. 62.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 3 off. It's 97.
Yeah.
These are all adding up to Raheem Sterling. These are all adding up. Let's move on to we've got to move on to
Where are the juicy ones? Like the worst player.
We've got one more positive one, and then we've got two juicy ones, and then we've got 4 audience. But we might only get through 2 audience. Actually, we're only going to do 2 audience categories because of time. Most improved is the next one. Most improved player.
Jakob Kivior
is up there for sure.
I think you've got to put Miles in there. Like, there's no way we can say he hasn't improved from the moment he came into the team to what he is now. Like, yes, he's been incredibly consistent, but he has he's kept going up levels. Gabriel,
it's still going.
All right, we're gonna think about. I want to think about this actually. Yeah. I want to.
It's still going. Marino.
Well, centre
Gabriel.
forward Marino. Centre forward
Marino,
there. Fine, but I don't think it's been like.
Gabriel's got there for me. Someone saying Timber?
No, because I think he's been at an incredible level from the get-go. Whereas I think...
What about Gabriella Magalhaes?
Tomiyasu?
Christ. I love how Timber on the back of an ACL. It's like his surname now. Hi, I'm Jurian on the back of an ACL.
I do rinse that. Like, I rinse
on the back of an ACL. His name is literally Jurian on the back of an ACL.
All right, Alex. All right, after this video, yeah, just tweet it out. What Jurian Timber has done on the back of an ACL is insane, right? Do it. You're gonna stat pad at least 1K likes.
That's 3K likes, easy.
Do
Simple.
it. I'm telling you. Do it. Please do it.
Can you wait? Do it now. Do it now. You do it now. Let's see how many we get at the end. By the end.
Should I do it now? I'd like to do it like yesterday. I think.
Let's both do it.
Yeah.
What's the exact word?
Word for word. What should we do?
What Jurian Timber has done on the back of an ACL? Off the back of an ACL.
Has done off the back.
What Jurian Timber has done off the back of an ACL is crazy, or what?
Is insane.
Is insane.
Right. Let's tweet it at the exact same time.
Is that your? Let me see yours.
Oh,
I can't see. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1. Done. We'll leave it.
Oh God, I spelled it wrong.
Leave it.
Okay, it's done. Right.
Okay.
Why is that just deleted? Hold on. Wait, is my Twitter not working? Hold on. Oh, it's there. Yeah.
Not nominally on the back of an ACL, 100-point pace, 22-23 season. It's literally all of your phrases.
Let's see who gets more likes, actually.
Most improved player, Kivior, Miles, Lewis. I mean, Jurian on the back of an ACL. That's his full name. Jurian on the back of an ACL. Yeah. Who's going in there?
Oh,
What
I'm going to give it to Jack. I'm going to give it to Jacob Kivior.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's do Kivior. We're doing what's his name? Miles. We're doing Gabriel. And we're doing on the back of an ACL. There we are. I don't think we can pick Jurian.
No, we can't.
I think that's unfair because I think he already was that good.
Yeah, exactly.
Gabriel.
Also, Gabriel
was world class last year anyway.
He was, but I think he has gone like upper level. Actually, do you know what? No, because then this is going to come across like Gabriel wasn't that good before. Let's take Gabriel off.
Well, who goes in there? Sterling.
We're getting into the juicy ones where he'll be in both categories.
Yeah.
Trust me. Man.
Who else goes in there? Someone's saying Saka.
Do you know what? In terms of like output and going up to another
that's
level,
actually not a bad shout.
Yeah.
That's actually not a bad shout. Let's put Saka in there. Oh, we've changed the poll now. Oh, whatever. Let's put it's Kivior. It's Kivior. I'm not even looking at the poll. What people said on the poll. I'm saying Kivior. Yeah, Kivior wins with 61% of the vote. Nice.
Forward to something. Someone's just messaged. No, someone's just tweeted something. Hold on, let me send it to you on X.
Why are you hiding things from the audience?
Oh, because I can't. Let me see if you can see it.
What? I can't see it. I'm just hang on. It won't focus. What does it say?
Oh wait, why? My Twitter's doing something really weird. Okay, no. Oh, it won't focus, and I can't even get it on the.
What if you hold it in place for like more than a second? It might.
Wait, it's doing something weird.
Whatever. Right, we're moving on.
Sorry.
Right, biggest regression. Here we go. None of this happy clappy stuff. Biggest regression. I'm sorry. Don't chat to me. Don't talk to me. They've got to go on there. They have to. Who are the other two?
Okay, so because I thought Sterling wasn't fully cooked, I'm going to put Sterling in there.
Okay. Who's fourth?
Biggest regression.
What are we saying, chat?
I don't think anyone else has regressed like that. I don't think Gabriel Martinelli's regressed this season, but
Don't know.
You smile there.
People saying Saliba.
No. Can't put Ben White in there as well. He's like injured. He's half cooked, isn't he? He's not fit.
Yeah, I think that's harsh.
He's just not.
Someone
fit.
just said Gyökeres Bomber. What's happened?
Apparently, Twitter's playing up.
Oh, right, okay.
Chat, is Twitter playing up or is it just me?
Someone says, well, Zinni, Jorginho.
I don't think Zinni's regressed.
Cheeto Obi. Arteta. Arsenal's point total.
Yeah, put it in there.
Right, that's my winner. Arsenal's points total. That's the winner. Biggest regression. Is that wrong?
Yeah, that is.
Is that wrong?
And it allows us to not talk about some uncomfortable conversations.
Actually, pick someone and get off the fence. And then, right, finally, flop of the season. Before we come to some audience suggestions. I think there's a couple of guys I'd put in here. In fairness, I don't. It's tough because you could probably have this guy. You could probably have that guy. I think maybe we might even need 5. 5 picks for this one.
Just do a copy and paste and do it 10 times.
Yeah, I think maybe one of those. Which of the 10 nominations for Raheem Sterling, which one should we go for?
See, I'm feeling number 3.
Oh, this is hot. This is just bullying, isn't it? What if he's watching?
Put Neto in there as well, because what he was doing in that game against Girona was ridiculous.
Sorry,
an experienced goalkeeper.
I love how I went, this is bullying, and then just removed 6 of them as if this isn't harsh either. Oh, I'll tell you what. Actually, that's a great shout from whoever that was in the chat.
Yes.
The Tifo against PSG. Can we actually, what, apart from Raheem Sterling, what else?
Okay, right. Arteta post-match PSG when he was talking about oh, what did he say? He said something post PSG. That was really weird.
Oh, PGMOL. What he said that he thought we were the better team.
No, not that. I think oh no, ignore me. I'm talking nonsense.
Okay. I'm gonna put this in the chat. Flop of the season. Here are your options. Raheem Sterling, the Tifo, Alex on the overlap, or what was the other one? What was the last one I had? It was down the PGMOL.
See, that one on the overlap. I remember when you messaged me and you're like, lads, just done a quiz. Oh my God, it's not gone well. And then I think they released it. They released it like, what, a week after or something. And, mate, there was that one account, I think, that's initiated the, I
got 5 out of 12. Look, I panicked. It wasn't that bad.
Oh, mate.
What are we saying? What people picked? Raheem Sterling is beating me.
I'm putting that Tifo. That Tifo is a disgrace because the club were like, yeah, we got it all under control.
Right, I'm ending the poll. I'm ending the poll before I get voted.
I genuinely put the Tifo. The Tifo was a disgrace.
Raheem Sterling wins. Sterling wins.
Tifo.
That's for Tifo for you. Right, we're going to do some audience ones. Audience. To finish the show, we have 2. Yeah, I was second, just to be clear on the poll. Raheem Sterling with 37%, me 23%, the Tifo 20%, and PGMO with 19%. We've had funniest moment of the season. We could do that. Have we got any other suggestions for...
I'm looking at your like count, right? Your like count sits 74.
Worst Arteta presses. Wokest moment of the season.
Wokest moment of the season.
Most jarring Arsenal content creator. Best recovery from an ACL. Oh yeah, Keenan, you've cooked.
Yeah, he has cooked.
Keenan, you've cooked. The worst decision against us.
He is absolutely cooked.
Right. First
Declan
one.
Rice one has to be there.
Rice against Brighton. Saliba v Brighton.
Miles against Wolves.
Miles v Wolves. That was bad. What else is there?
Trossard against City.
Oh, Trossard against City.
Well, let's keep going. Let's just keep going. This one.
There's 4. Trossard
Miles against Everton.
Bad. Miles against Everton.
Yeah.
What was that? Oh yeah, the penalty. Oh my God.
Are we not looking at this and like this is ridiculous?
Miles v Everton.
See, I actually think Saliba versus Bournemouth was a red card.
Alistair says hottest referee. Saliba versus Bournemouth was a red against Bournemouth.
I thought that was a red.
Yeah, it was a red. Ivan Smith says biggest post-match Twitter meltdown. Miles
Depends on how you consume Twitter.
Miles v PSG handball. I honestly can't remember it.
Which one?
I was that gone.
Wait, what was that? Sorry.
The Miles handball against PSG.
See, it's one of those ones where, in the context of Champions League and the rules in that competition, it's a penalty, but it isn't a penalty. Like, it should never be a penalty, but that's not worse than the ones we've just had here.
Oh, the one against the Wolves one where he chokes him.
Yeah, and that guy fingering Jesus' bumhole.
Yeah.
Yeah, Moscada, I think it is.
I think the worst one, I think it is the Rice vs Brighton one.
It is.
I think it has to be, because it's like, at the time, I was like, okay, well, if it's going to be consistent, then fair enough. I can't count how many times it wasn't consistent.
Hey, that finger in Jesus' bum was crazy, not gonna lie as well.
Yeah. That was crazy. I would genuinely love someone to be talking to the PGM, or like someone to bring it up to Mikel and be like, do you remember when that happened? And then they just forgot about it.
The Rice one it was right in front of me as well. Like, I was right there next to it, and man, you know, I could hear what Rice was saying, and he was so cringe though. Not gonna lie.
What was he saying?
It's like,
nah, bro, nah.
He's like, ref, I didn't do anything.
Don't say that. Ref, no.
It's funny now, but it wasn't funny in the moment.
It was not funny at the time. Right, last category. For the 10th award and final award of the Arsenal End of Season Awards for TCP Live. Best January signing. Worst injury timing.
Let's see.
No, I want a fun one.
Best individual performances. Yeah, that's good.
That's nice. Best individual performance. We could do that.
Yeah. Most intimate moments of the season.
Most intimate moments.
Mascara against with
Best
Jesus.
Hair. Cutest baby. Best hospital picture. Hottest Premier League match. This is a very sort of zesty chat this evening.
Yeah. Are we all right?
Wag.
Are we
We're
all
not
right?
doing this. Worst dental experience. Bro, you know this is still a fake tooth. I'm getting my tooth on the 17th of June.
Touch wood. I've never had issues with my teeth. Touch wood.
Yeah, what a mate. Worst
but it's
hairline?
a lot of pain, isn't it? It's a lot of pain.
Yeah, it's a nightmare.
So that's what
I'm...
touch wood, I don't.
Most heartbreaking. I quite like best individual performance.
Yeah.
Oh, best hate watch. That's quite good.
Yeah, go on then. Let's do it. Best hate watch. Actually, let's not do like 4 options. Let's just think best hate watch this season.
No. This is the final one.
Final
best
one.
hate watch. Best hate watches of the seasons.
Hate watches.
Actually, you know what we should do? Instead of hate watches, best TCP live moment of the season. Best TCP live moment. I would say Rohan singing Viva La Vida. That's up there. Rohan.
Oh, the spider.
Saying
That's got to
meritocracy.
be there.
Instead of meritocracy.
That's actually really bad.
Was the spider this season?
Yes.
Spider capture.
Wait, was it this season?
I can't remember. It might have been last summer.
I think that might have been TDK.
You fixing my hinge.
See, that has had a big impact.
Yeah, true. The guy on my attempts at Spanish French. Rohan's chair sounds.
I think that's gone actually, hasn't it? Oh my god, that was so squeaky.
Don't know why it's so funny. Rohan reenacting that voice message. Oh yeah, when we found out Rohan's 4'1".
The what? Oh,
when we found out you were 4'1". When you had that massive mic.
Oh, yeah, that was like. Do you know what? Someone put the most outrageous comment actually about that.
My god, that was so funny.
Let me send it to you in the chat.
Did George say Yurda on TCP Live? Because if he did, that's
Wait, let me send it you on WhatsApp. Actually, what they said.
okay. You leaving for The Apprentice. Do you know what? They're all nominated because they're all brilliant. And actually, nomination number 8 is you guys.
I've sent it to you on WhatsApp.
It's you guys. You make the show. You win. Right. That concludes the TCP Live Awards for 2024-25. The winners are Player of the Season, Declan Rice. Young Player of the Season, 21 younger at the start of the season, Miles Skelly. Goal of the season was Rice's free kick, the second one against Real Madrid. Assist of the season, we decided was Martin for Saka against Fulham at home. Moment of the season was also the Rice second free kick. The most improved player was Jakub Kiwior. The biggest regression was Arsenal's points total. Flop of the season was Raheem Sterling, close second with me on the overlap. Worst decision against us was Rice versus Brighton, with 6 nominations. And the best TCP Live moment of the season was you guys. Hey!
And we've only got one more game left of the season.
Thanks, everyone, for watching. This isn't the end of the show, but just to round it off, for watching the TCP Live Arsenal End of Season Awards. You should never have sent me that photo.
Oh my god.
We don't scrimp and save here at the Cannon Podcast. We put loads of stuff into it apart from when it's on pages. We have to use pages. It is heritage. It's TCP Live heritage. Heritage. How are our tweets doing?
Twitter's apparently it's having a bit of a
I've got 156 likes.
60. Have I used it a bit too much now? Or
Josh Miller, did you see Rice quote, "It's time to go and we'll have a look" in the latest Guess the Arsenal Player episode, Man Knows the Law? I didn't see that, but I'm going to go watch that now. That's very funny.
Oh, I've not seen it. No. I will watch it tomorrow.
That's very good. We should watch that. I mean, I feel like Rice is chronically online.
And he's extremely cringe, isn't he? He is.
You say this every time we talk about him.
Yeah.
But I feel like he is chronically online. He must have seen not have seen necessarily the Cannon Podcast, but he must have seen some of the stuff we've put out. Do you know what I mean? Sure.
Imagine we can get Rice on the pod.
Imagine. He must do. Bulusan, you said Alex my super chat. What's your opinion about Saliva and Tim's missing the UCL final? Sorry, what? Someone said make up a fake transfer rumor.
Should we do one for next?
Do you remember when we did the Rob Holding one?
You absolutely cooked with that one.
Just to catch people up, we did one on TCP Live ages ago that was Rob Holding was getting a new contract. And I think Lee Gunner was like, it got him. Yeah. So we need to make it believable.
Who's the source?
George.
George.
I think you should tweet it.
I can't tweet it.
No, what do you mean you can't?
You will get more traction. Trust me. You will. You have to do it.
Oh, sorry. I missed some super chats. If we sign Gyökeres over Šeško, I agree, Bulashan. I agree with you. It's not. By the way, Rodrigo and Gyökeres would actually. I think there's something there. But Gyökeres on his own to solve all our problems, I'm telling you, he won't. I'm telling you. Biggest TCP moments. I think hopefully we covered that, Nathan. But thank you for your super chat, my good friend.
I genuinely think you should tweet it. You'll get more traction.
What should I say? But people can't hang me out to dry.
Should we have a look at? Should we do one with El Neni?
I think. Do you know what? Okay, I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll make up a player.
Ah, yes.
We'll make up a player, and like it's got to be believable. Chat, you're going to help us with this.
Francesco Cuadrado.
Oh. Okay. Right.
But do you think George the Source will be believable?
No, I won't. I won't say a source. I
Yeah,
won't say a
okay.
source. Or should I say Vlad? Should I say
Yes.
like, by the way, I hate to say this, but I heard from someone close to the club that Arsenal are thinking about Sterling on a permanent.
Do it.
Do you know what the mad thing is now? Actually, I don't think I've said this on the stream. Should I say this on stream? No, it's fine. I don't know if I should say this.
What's happening?
I won't say it. But people, transfer people DM me, and they've corrected me on stuff before. So I don't want to give any. I just want it to be fun. This is why I'm saying you should tweet it, because it's more like
it's a fun one, isn't it? It's Raheem Sterling.
What should I say?
Like this one's got no malice. There's nothing.
Yes,
like,
it does. I hate the guy.
Yeah, but it's not going. It's not going to affect like people coming to you with like transfer stuff. So, well, I think you should put something like
No, it's
really
not. I can't. I didn't explain that very well because I can't say what happened. I'll tell you after.
Yeah.
But
something like really frustrating that the club is moving this way, but Arsenal are apparently.
Okay, yeah. The club are really happy with Sterling's impact on. That's actually believable. That many within the club are really like pleased with the impact.
Jorginho's leaving, so we need that experience, behind the scenes. That's like there to help the younger players.
People would buy that.
Yes.
Oh no, but then I'm just going to get cooked. Can you do it? I did the holding one. The holding one. You do this one.
But you're not listening.
Right,
chat. You will get more traction. You will.
You pay for Twitter now. You pay for Twitter.
You will get more. No, but you will get more. Trust me.
Right.
Trust me.
Right. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll do a poll. Whoever wins has to do it. Fair?
No,
Fair?
I'm not doing it. Okay, fine.
Fair? Okay, so I'm gonna put a poll in the chat. Whoever wins the poll has to do it.
Chat, please. Chat, please. I don't want to do it. You are not turning this poll off when it suits you, my friend.
Oh, it's 56% for you. Oh, it's 50. Oh no. Oh no.
Stop. Yep, stop the count. Stop the count now.
No, chat, come on.
Right. No, we're done. We're done. Benito. It's you.
Oh, God.
Chat, I love you. Chat,
oh,
I
no.
I love you. I did not want to do this. I was getting like actual butterflies. I did not want to do that. No.
Oh, God. Okay, right.
Get tweeting, buddy.
Right. 56%. It was actually so close. To 43% for you. This doesn't make sense.
Oh, what really? I was close then. God.
Right. Okay. Hang on. Right. I'll share my screen. Hang on. This is quite a good. I like this comment. So Arsenal are considering keeping Sterling.
You can put me as the source if you want.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
No. I don't want to put. I don't want to put you as the source because then people will know it's definitely not real.
Do you think though?
Yeah. I'm gonna say.
No, but then I think you're safe there though. You're not going to get any of the DMs. I think you'll be all right.
Okay. I heard from some people relatively close to the club today that they're very happy with Sterling's mentoring role with Miles and Ethan.
Yep.
With Jorginho set to leave. There are some. I hate this. I hate this.
I'll do a retweet. Don't worry. Got your back, mate. Got your back. With Jorginho set to leave, there are some discussions about whether he could stay. Do you want me to put? Do you want to put me as the source? Then you're a little bit.
Okay, yeah. Then people know it's a joke.
I think we need some more emojis in here to get it really out there, like really out there. Like the klaxon. You need to get the klaxon.
Yeah, we need the klaxon and a little one of these. A little one of these. Stay on an improved 3-year deal.
I am so happy I didn't need to tweet this. I am so happy. Thank you, chat.
I won't put heard. I'll put exclusive. Some people within Arsenal. I'll put there are those within Arsenal.
Yeah.
There are those within Arsenal that are very happy with Sterling's mentoring role. With how Sterling has taken on a mentoring role.
Yeah, but you need to put something about how you're frustrated by it. By this news. To make it more believable.
And other Highlanders.
Right, let me get the glasses on. Let's actually.
Okay, exclusive. There are those within Arsenal that are very happy with how Sterling's grammatically doesn't make sense. There are those within Arsenal that are very happy
with how Sterling
with Sterling's mentoring.
That makes sense with how Sterling's taken. Oh, hold on, no. I'm very happy with.
Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense.
That we're very happy that Sterling has taken on a mentoring role for Miles, Ethan, and other Highlanders.
Put comma, yeah.
With Jorginho set to leave, there are
not
those
3-year deal, not 3-year deal. 1+1. Yeah, Dinny's cooking. Proof 1-year deal. Yeah. Yeah, 1-year deal. You've got to put something like this is really frustrating.
Oh God.
Yeah.
There are those within Arsenal that are very happy at Raheem Sterling's. I'll put this. Very happy at Raheem. Oh my God, what are you doing this? At Raheem Sterling's mentor. Oh my goodness me. At Raheem's. Why is it doing that? Raheem Sterling's mentoring role this season. Looking after Miles, Ethan, and the Highlanders. With Jorginho set to leave, there are some discussions about whether he could stay on another 1-year loan deal. I think that's the tweet.
Yeah, go for it. Chat, we happy with that?
But I've got to get it under 280.
Yeah, okay. Some at Arsenal are very happy with.
Yeah, some at Arsenal are very happy. Yeah. Some at Arsenal are very happy with Raheem Sterling's mentoring role this season, looking after Miles, Ethan, and other Highlanders. With Jorginho set to leave, there are some discussions about whether he could stay on a 1-year loan deal. Source Rohan Jiva.
This could affect the signing. No. Actually, that's not believable. That's not believable. I think you're lucky Twitter's struggling at the moment a bit though, but
right, I'm doing it.
Yeah, go for it. Good man. Top man.
God.
Retweet it. Shall I retweet it?
Oh, God.
Good man. I won't retweet it yet, actually, because it'll be too bait. Right, let's end the stream. We've been on too long as well now.
Oh, no. How long do I have to keep it up?
At least 24 hours.
Right, we're done.
We're done. Thank you so
live
much,
over.
Chat.
TCP live over.
So much. Thank you so much.
Thanks for being
chat.
here. Thanks for watching. And thanks for keeping it Arsenal.
Tens of thousands of football fans came to Highbury. Electrifying.